Hi, and welcome back to the Car Journey. I'm Tom, and this episode is going to be about the 2023 SCCA Time Trials Nationals out at National Corvette Museum Motorsports Park, which is in Bowling Green, Kentucky, where they make the Corvettes. That racetrack that's right alongside the museum. They have this annual competition there, and I mostly do the trip because I enjoy company with the friends, and I really like that track. It's probably my favorite track. It's a bummer it happens to be about a 19-hour tow each way. A little over 2,600 miles was made in the truck towing the Supra back and forth from the event. But it was a great time. Got there pretty smoothly, unloaded, found out right away from my buddy Danny that Jackie Ding was coming. Jackie's a guy I buy parts from and have talked to for advice, and it's going to be pretty cool to get to hang out with him for a little bit and see how he handles this kind of event. So went through the weekend, started off, the expectation I had is I'd been to the track before. I'd run a 220.7 and a very stock 718 Cayman GTS. And so I was really thinking that I should be able to do about 5 seconds faster because of experience in a faster car. And so 215 was the target. And we went out on the practice day, which was Thursday. It's an all-day practice day sponsored by Haggerty. Went out and did exactly that. We ran I think a 215 on day one. I'd have to look it up. I don't have my notes with me, but was satisfied. The car was quick. The car was very easy to drive. I think it was actually a 216. The car was very easy to drive, and given my lap time for the following day and the rest of the competition, they would end up moving me to Group 1 from Group 3 because of the lap times, although I was kind of in the middle of Group 1. And so we headed out on Friday for the actual first event. And unfortunately, I did run a 214 in competition, which was great. The downside was I actually started to experience what I thought was fuel starve. I've had it before. It's usually only happened on tracks that are clockwise. So that's why I've always thought it's fuel starve. But what's interesting is I actually got a check engine light, which I've never gotten from this before. And it turns out it's a Verus issue. Specifically, it's the central bolt seizing on the exhaust vanos, which, if you're not familiar with that, is basically like their variable valve timing, such as VTEC. And I experienced this before, but all this time I thought it was fuel starve. So thanks to Jackie and David Marcus and a few others, got to the bottom of it, that it wasn't fuel starve all this time. I've never had fuel starve, ironically, and that I was just having an issue since my very first track day with this Vanos. It just has suddenly gotten much worse. So more on that at the end of the video, but we still were able to set a good time. So we had a good lap in the books and put us in 5th place in Max 1. And I think at that point I was something like 10th overall for the event. So everything's going well. Because of my placement at that point, I'd actually gotten an invitation from Grassroots Motorsports. They were concurrently having the Ultimate Track Car Challenge going on, and they were looking for some more participation. So I invited the 20 fastest Time Trial Nationals competitor to come play. I think I was 7th on that list because 3 others had already entered that event. And so 3 others ahead of me, I should say, had already entered that event. So that was pretty cool. We ended up actually doing more with GRM during that day. I ended up getting interviewed. I think part of it is probably, everyone likes a Supra, but a big part of it was that I'd traveled so far. I don't think too many people did, 19 hours each way just to participate for a few days. But ended up doing a photo shoot on track. I recorded the whole thing on my GoPro because I'd never seen kind of the inside baseball of what that kind of photo shoot looks like. And it's extremely stressful, I can tell you, when you're doing 60-mile-an-hour rollers, 3 cars wide, going through an entire track. There's a lot of pinch points where you get pretty nervous and feel like you're going to bump into the car next to you. So that was pretty cool. Maybe more on that later if it actually makes the magazine. I'll post the video here of my best lap from Friday, actually from Thursday. I'm gonna post my best one from Thursday, just to show you where I started at the weekend, and then we'll bookmark it with my best lap from the entire weekend. So let's run that best Thursday practice video now. So as you saw in that video, there was quite a few mistakes, but I'm happy with that lap. My first time back in 3 years, different car, different everything, and I think that was done on my third session. So, you know, not a lot of track time. Maybe at that point I'd done 12 hot laps. So pretty good overall. And yeah, so then we went into competition. We had 2 days of track sprints, which don't work with the Garmin, and I'm not too happy with the GoPro video, but the first track sprint on the one end went great. Actually moved up into 4th briefly ahead of my buddy Stan. And then the second half of the day, we ran the other end of the track sprint. And unfortunately, on my best run, I had, again, the Vanos issue come back up and cut power. And when I do it, I lose probably about 300 wheel horsepower. And it happened before, you know, some long acceleration zones. And so according to Solo Storm, I lost a full second. So a little bit hurt our results, but we got some good times in and we got to hang out. So we were happy with that. Then comes the final day, which is Sunday, which is again another full track time attack format. And it's extremely cold. The temperature has now dropped. It's 50 degrees. I'm on the new CR-S, which need a little heat to start working. So I started getting pretty nervous about, would I be able to fire this tire up and fast enough and then also get in a good lap? And so session 1 happened. And on my first lap, I had a major mistake, ran a 2:14.0, didn't quite get in the 2:13s. And then I hit, you know, power loss mode again due to Vanos. And so, unfortunately, I couldn't take advantage of that extra cool air where everyone set their PBs for the most part. And it all came down to the final session, which I'm going to go ahead and play my best lap from that video here. Spoiler alert, it's my best of the weekend. So, roll that. As you saw there, a lot of mistakes, but it's a 2:13.7. Very happy about that. I went faster than I thought I'd go all weekend. Before I made the trip, once I got there and saw how fast I was out of the box, I was kind of hoping for more. But it's kind of hard to do it when you're struggling to get multiple lap attempts, especially when you kind of need it to fire up the tires. But overall, what a great event. I think I ended up the entire event 11 out of 165 and in 5th place out of, I think, 13 in Max 1. For my first attempt for all this, pretty happy. Supra was great. I mean, other than the Vanos issue, which I can't hold against the car. It's been doing it since day one, and I just failed to identify it and deal with it since March. But that's why you're kind of seeing the FRS here now. The Supra is actually out because that job requires enough special tools and looks like a big pain in the butt. I actually, for the first time, outsourced it. So I'm going to have a certified Toyota mechanic, certified Supra Toyota mechanic named Mike, go ahead and work on that for me. It's going to be a little pricey, but we're going to go ahead and replace all kind of the consumable parts of the Vano system. So the intake and exhaust, central bolts, the actuators, and all the gaskets that go along with that. I'm hoping that'll resolve the issue. I've heard some stories, maybe it won't, but I'm going to go ahead and hope that that's the case. So it's looking like we're going to miss the last time attack of the year on November 5th. Kind of bummed about that. Probably still show up and support everyone out there trying to do their best, and the great guys like Eric and Rowdy that run the event. But I'll probably be merely helping and a spectator. But November 4th is the last autocross of the year. It's a PCA, and we'll take the Tesla out there for that. It's in town in Albuquerque, in a little tiny lot, so probably not worthy of a video, but still should be fun to get back and play a little bit. I'm planning to do a kind of season, year-long, 1 year with the Supra as a time attack vehicle video next. And then probably actually do some upgrade videos over the winter once I kind of map out what I'm going to do and when. So it'll be pretty good to run the car another season. There's lots of little things. Once I get this Vanos issue sorted out, we can go ahead and add some flex fuel. Because of the Pure800 Turbo, I can only go about E30, so 30% ethanol. But since we only have 91 here, that should be a substantial help. So that's kind of the holding factor here, is the only 91 octane available, and me unwilling to buy, barrels of better fuel just to find a little bit of time. Let's see what else we got going on. We're going to do some suspension changes, probably revalve the shocks, change the front sway bar, and a few other things that I'll save for that next video. But I hope you enjoyed this thing. If you haven't been out to NCM or SCCA time trials, definitely do it. Such a good time. The format's great. The people that run it, are passionate about it just like we are. And it's a good time. I'm probably going to spend the next couple of months mapping out, maybe trying to attend a regular time trials event. It's a little tougher for me, given my location here near Albuquerque, New Mexico, is that everything's along tow. I'm hoping to make it out some Arizona tracks, maybe in the spring. I was hoping really to do COTA next year. We'll see. But yeah, more to come. I hope you enjoy the content. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you do. That way I kind of know, what's working and what's not. I mostly make these videos for my own kind of library. But, it's nice to entertain people if they enjoy it too. And I think that's all I have for now. So we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.